poem that's dedicated to my grandmother and the women in my family. When the woman I am is called into question, I think of my grandmother, who was born a rose amid fields of cotton. She taught me that I was born with a throat rosebud thick, with a bale of cotton lodged in between my ribs, and that the women in our family never apologize for their thorns, that our thorns are protection against the threat of our innocence, cherry-picked from the orchards of our womanhood. She taught me that my existence in these hips would be no different, simply because my seeds are hidden beneath sag jeans, of which I never planned to lay with man and conceive too. My grandmother always had a knack for growing dead things back into being. I always admired her green thumbs with wisdom of how they could turn ugly pretty, with nothing more than the grace of her savior packed inside her palms, how she could pry a man open. After having spent years being pried open, turning drunkards into orchids, how orchids reminded me of drunken men too intoxicated to notice how their sins singed my skin, separating me from the bulb of innocence, how the fight from being deflowered while resisting being devoured by hands carnivorous was tradition. Truth is, no bloom is ever painless. 3. Lewis and Johnson women traded black eyes for steaming pots of hot grits, busted lips for ice picks, and thrown phone receivers for infidelities kept in secret. Grandma always said it was a thickening of the blood, that I would bleed too. No matter how irregular, no matter how boyish I seemed in closets, in men's hands, and in this skin, I was still woman. And that to be woman is to know that roughness is as cyclical as menstrual, and that there's nothing simple or delicate about that shit for. The woman I am is hard for most to understand. Even my grandmother, who grapples with pronouns while tussling boy on her tongue until finally stumbling on girl in reference to me. Even still, I owe the woman I am to the woman she has always been. I make no apologies for this thickness, the roughness of this flesh that's learned to be soft in some of the toughest places. And out of all the lessons she ever taught me, this one I'll take with me, that orchards are often mistaken for safe havens when in reality they are battlefields, raging war where each blossom, each bloom of each flower left standing is a victory.